Hey, welcome back to Game On. I'm John.
I'm Nick.
I'm Ray.
So, John, you've been through the Souls games and back, right?
Yes, I have. I have been through. Yes, I have been through them.
Well, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on the new one. Dark Souls 2. It just came out. It just came out on PC. It's been out for PS4 for a while.
Well, you'll get to hear my thoughts in this totally smoothly segued introduction into the review of Dark Souls 2. Completely off topic. A place where souls may end your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded, the symbol of the curse, the augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. When the three witches in the introduction of Dark Souls 2 warned me of this, I laughed it off as an attempt to unnerve me. The Souls series has always been a brutal franchise, so I was prepared for the worst. While it may not be the hardest entry in the series, Dark Souls 2 offers enough innovation and change to make it feel fresh. Two of the biggest changes to the formula are introduced right away. Firstly, every time you die and come back as a hollow at a bonfire, or a save point, your health bar permanently decreases until 50% of your maximum health is remaining. This can only be stopped by using the limited human effigy items and restoring yourself to humanity. Secondly, the town of Majula will serve as a hub where you can repair and restock your weapons before traversing to the next area. This is very similar to the hub area in Demon Souls, and serves much of the same purpose as a place of respite. As far as the gameplay itself goes, Dark Souls 2 retains the same combat mechanics that the previous entries had, and it still feels responsive and fun. There are a huge variety of weapons and spells to choose from, and one could find themselves spending tons of time grinding out levels just to discover a spell that completely changes their playstyle. While the health reduction from dying can be difficult to deal with in a game that's so unflinchingly tough, there are items such as rings that slow the rate at which your health deteriorates when you die. The key to surviving in Dark Souls 2 is through cautious playing and careful observation of your surroundings. If you're connected to the internet, you can see where other players have died from bloodstains left on the ground, and view messages left by other players warning of ambushes and traps that would instantly kill an unsuspecting adventurer. The game rewards multiple playthroughs with new boss encounters and rare equipment not accessible until the game is beaten. Covenants play a huge role in this game. By joining an in-game covenant, you unlock special items and objectives not available to other covenants. Some, such as the Heirs of the Sun and the Blue Sentinels, encourage cooperative play and helping out other players in need. Others, such as the Rat King Covenant or the Dragon Remnant Covenant, focus on entering the worlds of other players and defeating them. Covenants do a good job of inspiring a strong sense of community in a mostly single-player game, and stimulates an interesting us versus them mentality. Overall, Dark Souls 2 is both a frightening and fun experience, and it's a great entry in the franchise. We give it 9 praises to the sun out of 10.
What would you consider to be the biggest difference between the two games, Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 1? The biggest, the most jarring change.
The fact that when you die, so every time you die,
Right.
in Dark Souls 1, you lost all your souls.
Yeah.
And you had to go pick them up.
Right.
In this, you lose all your souls, and like a chunk of your maximum health just goes away.
Oh.
So now if you die, you're now at 90% max health. And then if you die again, you're
80%.
at 80%. And then it's down to 50%,
Right.
which means that a lot of enemies can just one-shot you.
Yeah.
Is
Is that
can't really
so?
do
Would you
anything about
consider
it.
that like a arbitrary barrier? Like it's arbitrary.
If you've played
Yeah, I
Demon
played
Souls,
Demon
you'll
Souls.
feel more comfortable with Dark Souls 2 than if you played Dark Souls.
Does that make a
Because
better game, or like is it is returning to its roots a positive thing?
I think that the best way I've heard Dark Souls 2 described is that the highs of Dark Souls 2 are higher than the highs of Dark Souls, but the lows are lower than the lows of Dark Souls. So it's more like Dark Souls.
It's a more extreme experience.
Exactly. Like the fact that, so what you can do is, one of the things you would do in Dark Souls is because it was so hard, you would go through an area, kill all the enemies, get all their experience, go back to like a save point, and respawn all the enemies, and then go and then kill them and do that. In Dark Souls 2, enemies stop respawning if you kill
After
them
a while.
enough times.
And you have to use an item, right, to
Yeah.
respawn all of them manually, but if you do that, then they get bumped up into whenever you beat the Dark Souls game, you go into New Game Plus, which is basically the game but harder.
Yeah.
When you respawn all your enemies, you bump them up to that New Game Plus levels of damage and health.
You also respawn the boss.
Yes. So then you have to beat the boss at New Game Plus.
And like that's that's harder.
Yeah.
Like I know it's harder, obviously, but I don't know if it makes it more fun.
Do you consider that an arbitrary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I consider that because like one of the things with like Dark Souls is so hard, but there are like you can break the game for a reason.
Right.
Like the enemy AI is really bad because you need it to be really bad if you want to be able to beat it.
Yeah.
The ability to grind is there because you need to be able to
If
beat
the AI were as smart as you would never beat the game.
Yeah, it would be impossible.
Yeah.
But the fact that
And,
like
like,
they're
that's
just
the thing.
adding all of these gates.
Yeah.
Me personally, like I love Dark Souls. Like Dark Souls
Right.
1 is like my game of the generation.
Right.
Like I love that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that they're trying to make it harder, but it doesn't feel as fun as Dark Souls 1. I mean, it's still, I'm not used to it like Dark Souls 1,
Right.
but it just doesn't, I don't know, it just feels different, which isn't a bad thing.
And to go along with the AI, if they were, I feel like their lower like intelligence AI wise fits in with the lore of the universe because they're all just kind of hollowed out husks of like they don't have any minds.
They're
or
like
anything.
shambling around and just like
it's
kind
like
of,
it's almost like a zombie apocalypse but set in like this weird medieval fantasy universe.
well, you are a zombie.
Yeah.
Basically.
You start as a zombie and you're like trying to stop the zombie apocalypse every time. It's really weird. The stories are always so vague, but always interesting.
Right, as an outsider to Dark Souls, what do you think of when you see Dark Souls?
All I know is that it's supposed to be really hard, and that's why I don't play it. I'm not very good at games. I've said this time and time again on this show. I'm not good at games. So, like, if I play Dark Souls, I'm just going to die every time, and I'm going to be really bad.
All right.
And I'm going to be sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
No, man, don't
That's the way it
apologize. Don't. It's okay.
So, don't get too jumpy, John. We've got a guest coming up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Thank you. They'll find out. I'm done with this.
Okay.
I'm done with this.
That's fine. Stay tuned.